Are you breaking Disney World's rules without even knowing it? There are a few sneaky missteps you could be making that actually could get you kicked out of the parks if you take it too far. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Vlog. Disney World has a lot of rules, and while most of them are super straightforward, some of those rules are so easy to break that you won't even know you're doing anything wrong until the deed is done. So today we're going over which Disney World rules are broken by guests every single day, so you don't have to be a part of the statistic. First up, feeding the animals. Now picture this, you're at Magic Kingdom, you're about to start munching on a Mickey waffle from Sleepy Hollow Refreshments, and a little family of ducks comes waddling up to you, waggling their little tail feathers and looking longingly at the battered fried dough on your fork. So you do the kind thing. Sharing is caring after all, and you take your teeny tiny piece of waffle and you drop it for that one now super happy duck. And then you pull off a few other teeny tiny waffle pieces to feed to the other ducks because you want to make them happy too. Sorry friends, but what we did there was a rule-breaking offense. What? Feeding poor innocent ducks is a Disney crime? No, feeding all wildlife on Disney grounds is a crime, or at least it's a broken rule. You will see signs, especially in Animal Kingdom, asking you not to feed the wildlife, even the cute little duckling babies. Disney's not trying to be cruel here. They love their little animal residents, but it's because they love their animals that they're asking guests not to feed them. Our food is not a natural food source for these creatures, so it's not good on their tummies. Now, that's never stopped me from eating something, but animals are different. They don't know any better. Not to mention, the more guests feed these little critters, the more dependent they become on people feeding them. So those shy creatures with the big begging eyes might transform into these very intense scavengers who won't think twice about swiping a fry off your tray, because it's happened to our team more than once before. We have met some extremely aggressive squirrels. Now, we don't want to feel like we're constantly having to shoo the animals away. We want them to hang out with us without feeling like they need to jump for our corn dog nuggets and chicken strips. So no matter how much these little guys bat their eyelashes, just know that it's way better for them if you keep your food to yourself. So drink crawls around the parks are super fun until you need to leave the park and get over to Disney Springs or one of the resorts, and that's when the Disney rule book might get in the way of your plans. Magic Kingdom is the only park where alcohol isn't freely available at kiosks and fast food locations, though you can still order select spirits at Magic Kingdom's table service locations to enjoy with a sit-down meal. However, you can purchase and wander around with alcohol in Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. You just can't leave the park with your cocktails still in hand. Lots of guests are intimately familiar with that chug at the gate policy. You won't be allowed through the tap styles to head back to your hotel or Disney transportation or the parking lot if you still have an open container. So drink up me hearties yo-ho, but try not to make yourself sick in the process. Make sure you got enough time to finish your drink before you head over to leave the park, because it's really not worth chugging that $18 margarita. Believe me, I speak from experience. If you're not planning on leaving Epcot during your Drinking Around the World day and you need a little help finding the best booze to order around the park if you're 21 and older, go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen right now. Or if you're watching this on your phone, head to disneyfoodblog.com/worlddrinks and we're going to send you our top drink picks from each of the World Showcase pavilions, just to give you some inspiration for your own taste testing endeavors. And as always, please drink responsibly. Aunt Susan is back to her usual antics again, but what is she up to this time? Seems innocent enough. She's just trying to get a better view of the Festival of Fantasy show getting ready to happen in Magic Kingdom, but she stepped over that all so important tape barrier that the cast members have laid out before the show, and that's a major no-no. Oh, Aunt Susan, what are we going to do with you? So Disney requires walkways and paths to remain open for those passing by, so a major traffic jam doesn't happen and keep folks at a standstill. They also need paths open in case of emergencies so that a quick exit way is always nearby. So if you notice dear Aunt Susan lingering in an area that might feel a little too open, double check to make sure she's not within the taped off area in bounds of the show to keep the walkways clear for traffic. These taped off areas will also keep cast members and guests safe while the show's happening. After all, you don't want to get trampled by a rampage of ruffians and thugs, right? Right. Along with those taped off areas for the parades and fireworks, several Disney attractions that feature pre-shows or waiting areas also have designated zones that you need to stay within. That way, doors don't swing open and whack you in the face, nor will they swing outwards and take you along for the ride. This includes rides like Cosmic Rewind in Epcot, Haunted Mansion in Magic Kingdom, or indoor shows like Country Bear, Musical Jamboree in Magic Kingdom, and Filler Magic, also in MK. Basically, if you hear a cast member or an overhead announcement telling you to please stand clear of the doors, it's not a suggestion. It's mandatory for the show to begin. Now, here is a rule that I know hundreds of y'all out there have probably unknowingly broken before. Pretty sure we got a few offenders on the DFB team too. See this little symbol? You're gonna find it on the escalators at Disney Springs and probably several other escalators around the globe. It's here to tell folks that no, you are technically not allowed to wear Crocs on the escalators for major safety reasons. Crocs are a common culprit for getting stuck in escalators, believe it or not. Most of the time, this isn't a quick fix. It requires extensive work to pry that shredded shoe from the teeth of the escalator stairs. Reminds me of those contraband Cabbage Patch dolls from back in the 90s. You remember the ones that could eat food, but they wound up eating people's hair too? Gross, still gives me the creeps. Anyway, Crocs have been getting a bad rep as of late anyways. Dozens of schools in 20 states have completely banned them in their dress codes, citing them as unsafe and major tripping hazards. While Disney isn't completely banning Crocs from the premises, you might want to bring a couple extra different pairs of shoes along with your Crocs that might look a little less appetizing to those escalator fiends. My favorite sneakers, of course, to wear around the parks lately are the Solomon trail running shoes. They provide great stability on various surfaces. I also love to wear them hiking wherever I am in the world. Plus, they don't really have shoelaces that tie. They've got those ripcord kind of things, so you won't have to worry about them coming undone or becoming escalator spaghetti. Chacos and Tevas, also solid choice for those who aren't too keen on wearing sneakers around the parks. Those are waterproof, slip-proof, and a whole lot less appetizing for escalators too. So I know you only have so much time to get everything done you want to get done in Disney World, and I know time isn't always going to be on your side when you start running late for important reservations, but please do not break the rules and take off like a bullet train through the parks. Even if you're not running into someone, the chances of you still tripping over something is also extremely high when you're in full speed ahead mode. Like the Magic Kingdom trolley tracks, those are infamous for this. So infamous, in fact, that we have a shirt dedicated to their nefarious activities available over at dfbstore.com. So moral of the story, it's always best to plan ahead. Do not put yourself in a bind by hitting the snooze button one too many times, like I do, if you know you have a breakfast reservation to get to, and don't be rushing to a Disney bus stop at the last second if you've only got minutes before a big nighttime spectacular across property is about to begin. That's stressful, y'all. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that like I do that to myself every single day at Disney World. Okay, this one, we all know we shouldn't do it. Have you ever had that moment when you're at your cousin's or niece's or nephew's school talent show and you want to snap a quick photo for memory's sake and all of a sudden your camera's flash goes off? Super embarrassing. Now you've got angry parents turning around to give you death glares, not to mention the kids on stage are now distracted by what on earth caused all that blinding light to go off in the audience. Hopefully the people at the talent show are cool, but at Disney, they're not going to be cool, especially during dark rides when flash photography ruins the effects for others, or during indoor shows when flash photography can be potentially dangerous to those performing on stage. So before you decide to pull out your camera for anything attraction-wise at Disney, take a few minutes to ensure your flash is disabled before you start taking pictures and videos. Or better yet, put the phone away. While it's tempting to want to catch every moment of your Disney trip, it's a whole lot less fun to experience every moment of your Disney trip from behind a screen. Believe me, that's all I do at Disney is video stuff. And it's not as much fun as if you just experienced it. So take a few photos here and there in front of the park icons and other fun picture ops, but allow yourself to live in the moment if you can while the actual attractions are taking place. So who knew frisbees and snorkels could turn you into a criminal, right? During your Disney hotel pool day, don't bring any toys or items to the pool that are either going to be a distraction to the lifeguards or cause potential danger to other guests. This includes things like snorkels, apparently, and fins and squirty toys and hard frisbees. Oh, and you'll want to leave those oversized rafts at home too, like that giant gator and stuff. So what can you bring to the pools? Well, you can bring life jackets and swim rings, small beach balls, and other little soft water toys that won't cause a ruckus for anyone else. Or, you could just stick with the Marco Polo games and call it good. So this is a weird one, but I think a lot of you are going to be pleased that we put this in this video. So don't sit your kids in places they shouldn't be, right? So getting your kids to sit still anywhere is a miracle. I get it. But if they're sitting in the wrong places in Disney, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to have to move them. Starting with sitting on those railings and ropes and chains you're going to find around the queue lines. I know. Those things are keeping your kid entertained and seemingly out of trouble, and it's practically impossible to keep your kid from climbing on that stuff. Believe me, I get it. Even adults are tempted to lean on them if they've been standing in line for a while now and their feet feel about ready to give up. But this is a no-no that'll more than likely catch the attention of a cast member who's going to have to tell you or your kid to stand up. These railings and ropes and chains are not sturdy enough to hold you or your kid's body weight, so the possibility of them collapsing on you or unlatching is pretty likely. Not to mention just the slightest tilt tilt backward of a slip of the hand could result in a fall and injury. Your kid's gonna smack their head on the cement. Nobody wants this. Also, try not to have your kids sitting up on your shoulders. I know that's like the quintessential, right? It's like in the ads even. But you'll probably see this happening a lot, especially during Happily Ever After and Magic Kingdom, since parents want to make sure their kids can see the show. Technically though, this isn't allowed. Mostly for safety reasons, but also because if a kid is hoisted high above the crowd, that means they'll be blocking the view for lots of other people behind them. And then it becomes a whole domino effect of kids on shoulders, which comes back around to the whole safety thing again. So, stake out your spot for Happily Ever After early, and maybe just like hold your kid on your hip for the show instead of on your shoulders. If the castle projections aren't a high priority, you can always watch the fireworks from the back of the castle where there are fewer crowds, but still great fireworks views. And sometimes Cinderella goes back there and she like twirls around and dances and stuff. And then that's cool, right? And if the castle projections are a high priority, you can always look into Magic Kingdom's dessert parties to see if saving for endless sweets and a VIP Happily Ever After viewing spot is worth the splurge. Now, last but not least, don't sit your kid on top of a trash can. Silly as it may sound saying it out loud, you've probably done it or been tempted to do it and you needed to tie your toddler's shoe real quick, or you need to free up your hands to reach into your bag for something. But again, Disney wants to keep your family safe. So if a cast member sees your kid chilling out on the trash, they're probably going to ask you to get them down. Just remember, the top of the trash cans aren't for your kids, it's for your food. And now we're coming up on a topic that my scriptwriter Bria is specifically passionate about because she's been both the victim and the accidental perpetrator. So let's go, Bria. It's pin time.
When you go up to a Disney pin board, and I mean any Disney pin board, you're going to find one of two types of pins. You're going to find authentic Disney pins, the ones you're allowed to trade, and you're going to find the non-authentic Disney pins, which are the ones you're not supposed to trade. The non-authentic pins will most commonly be scrappers that people buy in bulk from sites like eBay and Amazon that are made by a third-party company and don't have that quality in mind. While some folks might not mind getting a scrapper pin, you don't want to end up with one and accidentally break the rules. If you're looking for more affordable yet still authentic Disney pins to trade, check the Disney Store website to see if there are any available at a discounted price. Disney outlets and the Disney Character Warehouse shops in the Orlando area also often have legit Disney pins available for purchase at a discounted price as well.
If you're ever walking around a Disney park and you see someone quickly pull out their vape and take a puff, that's a broken Disney rule right there. Designated smoking areas still exist around Disney property, but in 2019, all those designated smoking areas that used to be inside the parks went up in smoke. No, I don't mean they burned down. They were just banned and removed altogether. If you still need to track down a designated smoking area during your park visit, those are all now stationed outside of the parks instead of directly in them. To find a full list of designated smoking areas for the parks and the hotels, you can always ask a cast member to help you track them down, or you can check out the interactive map on your My Disney Experience app. At the top of the map, there's a list of filters to choose from. You can scroll until you find guest services and then select it, and any designated smoking areas are going to be labeled with that little cigarette icon. Okay, this is still something that I am shocked by every time I see it, but drying your towels on your Disney World hotel balcony is against the rules. If you're staying in a Disney room that has a balcony or porch, you can't dry your damp towels over the railing. It's just not allowed. Disney doesn't directly express on their Disney World Resort Property Rules webpage why they've put this restriction in place, but there's a good chance it's because guests are spending a lot of money to stay at one of these nice themed resorts, so seeing a whole bunch of wet towels hanging around everywhere could take away from the overall hotel immersion. But also, I guess it could be a safety situation. If your stuff kind of blows off your balcony, maybe it gets out to the road, and I don't know, I'm sure things can go horribly, horribly wrong. So what can you do with your wet towels? Well, one totally legal solution is to look and see if your resort shower or bathtub has one of those retractable clotheslines. A lot of people don't even know what those are. Heads up, they're retractable clotheslines. Most hotel rooms do have these, meaning you'll still be able to hang up your towels and dry them overnight without breaking any rules. And an even easier solution, let Disney take care of the towel thing for you. You're going to have a constant supply of towels provided to your hotel bathroom, as well as the ability to ask for even more towels anytime you need more. But Disney's hotel pools also have free towels for you to use too, so you don't have to worry about bringing your own towels down from your room. And if you're planning on going to one of Disney's water parks, towel rentals are free for all Disney World hotel guests. However, if you're coming to visit the water parks and you're not staying at a Disney-owned hotel, towel rentals will cost you $2 a day. Next rule, carrying around fake weapons. Now, I completely understand why Disney has this rule. What I don't understand is why Disney insists on breaking their own rules. What do I mean by that? Well, check out those fake swords for sale toward the exit of Pirates of the Caribbean. And how about those actual training katanas in Epcot's Japan Pavilion? I know they're fake, you know they're fake, Disney knows they're fake, but on their website, it clearly states that objects or toys that appear to be firearms or weapons are not allowed on property. So I guess purchasing one of these is technically breaking the rules? Now, is anyone going to come up and rip your new souvenir out of your hand and kick you out of the park? No. However, if you're going to be park hopping with this rule-breaking purchase of yours, definitely keep the receipt on you to show those front gate security members at the next park that you're just a victim of circumstances here and the toy weapon you're carrying was 100% purchased on property. Without fail, I still see at least one or two stroller wagons being pulled around each time I visit, even though these have technically been banned since 2019. Disney World is totally cool with you bringing your own stroller for those smaller kids who may not want to walk around the parks all day long, but back in 2019, they added some extra restrictions to which strollers would be allowed in the parks. Now, strollers can be no larger than 31 inches wide and 52 inches long, and stroller wagons aren't allowed, period. Disney put these rules in place to help cut down on bottleneck paths and blocked off walkways. And if your stroller doesn't meet these guidelines, you can always plan to rent one directly from the park instead. Disney offers two types of strollers, single ones and double ones. And if you decide to rent a single stroller, the price is $15 per day. But if you're looking to rent a stroller for multiple days or for the length of your stay, the price goes down to $13 per day. The double strollers are a little more expensive with a daily price of $31. Or once again, guests can purchase a length of stay rental ticket for multiple days for $27 per day. With a length of stay rental, you can prepay the number of days you plan on using a stroller to save a little money. Just show a cast member your receipt at the stroller rental location at the front of the parks to receive your stroller for the day. But remember, you won't be able to take it back to your hotel. You got to turn it in at each park, and then when you get to the next park, you show them your receipt and you get a stroller there. Okay, everybody stay out of trouble? Excellent. Don't want to get on Mickey's bad side. Now, we got a lot of different Disney rule videos out right now, including one that focuses on unbreakable rules that Disney cast members must follow. It is fascinating. So be sure to check that out next. And don't forget to pick up our free Drinking Around the World guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/worlddrinks. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and I'll see you real soon.